Welcome to Relatably Random. I am Allison.
And I'm Katie, and thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
We're coming to you live after viewing Wuthering Heights at our beloved classic cinemas. I won't say which location.
Yeah, for those of you who have not seen this movie, there are spoilers. We're going to talk about the movie and what we thought about it. Mm-hmm. So if you don't want to hear anything, then don't watch it yet.
Yeah.
But if you have seen it and you want to hear about it and you want to make a comment on it, let's talk, you guys. Let's talk about
Absolutely.
it. Absolutely. Yeah. So, Allison, what did you think of it?
I loved it. I know that a lot of people have mixed reviews on it.
Okay.
But I actually loved it. I am not a person who actually has read the book. Although I did share with you that before I decided to see the movie, I read the Cliff's Notes online because I wanted to see whether or not it was worth it. Because
really,
I just wanted to see it for the eye candy originally.
So you really didn't care if it was spoiled for you. You just wanted to feast upon eye candy in the movie.
It's not even that. Okay. Knowing the ending to a movie or who dies, and I won't say who dies in the movie or anything like that if anybody does die. But generally, if I know the ending to a book or I know the ending to a movie, it doesn't matter to me because there are details along the way and the journey of the movie. It doesn't matter to me. I'm in it for all of it. I'm in it for the spectacle. I'm in it for the small details, and sometimes it comforts me to know the ending because then it's not such a big blow to me if it's going to be, a sad ending.
Okay.
It kind of cushions the blow for me.
Okay. Yeah, I know you don't like sad movies and stuff.
I don't. I'm not generally a fan of sad movies, but this I liked a lot.
Yeah. And spoiler alert, it was sad.
It was very sad.
We were weeping in the theater.
We were. It was very sad, and it was somewhat dark. I'm not going to lie about that.
But the book is dark. I did read the book, not recently. So it's probably been about 12 years or around there since I've read it. I have it on my Audible. I'm going to listen to it. And there actually, she did quote the movie. She put the title in quotations because it's her adaptation.
Yeah, it's her
pretty close.
Yeah.
Like the first 2/3 of the book is pretty close. In the book, there's no intercourse. There's no intercourse in Emily Bronte's book. No, unless I did not interpret it correctly,
and also unless you just plumb missed it.
I don't think it. Yeah. It is written. I mean, it was written almost like 150 years ago or more.
Yeah.
So the language is, maybe I missed something. Maybe they did have intercourse. I don't know.
Perhaps.
But it did not seem like that when I read the book. And then there's a whole other part of the book that the movie kind of ended, and they left out a whole part of the ending of the book.
Let's just say that this movie was just Heathcliff and Catherine's portion of Wuthering Heights. As far as you have said to me, that's how I'm taking it. It's their portion. There is a later half devoted to Heathcliff and Kathy's daughter, no,
it's
Hareton.
It's Ed Hareton. Hareton is like the caretaker at Wuthering Heights.
No, I know it's Edgar's daughter, but I'm saying the later half of the book is Heathcliff torturing Kathy and Edgar's daughter.
Yes, that's correct.
I definitely know that it's,
and her name is Kathy too.
Yeah, her name is Kathy Linton, so that's a little bit confusing.
It's confusing.
Yeah, because there technically is two Kathy Lintons.
Yes.
But I think what I took away from the movie, and I think it was very, very artfully done. I loved the opulence. I loved the feeling of it, the emotion of it. But the main point that I took home from the movie and the story is that lack of honesty was the undoing of everyone. Um, Nobody was completely honest with their feelings. Um, nobody, and I guess because of the time that they were in, the time that the movie takes place, maybe nobody could be as honest with their feelings, and so instead of being honest with their feelings, they would lash out because
Right.
they couldn't.
Well,
They couldn't say anything.
yeah. Well, I mean, I would say that every one of them had a flaw, and their kind of
Yes.
their flaw was their undoing sort of thing.
Yes.
But you're right. Dishonesty or just miscommunication
or
kind of
withholding.
thing. Withholding.
Yes. And instead of being honest, they decided to, instead of sharing their emotions, and this is probably a good lesson for anyone, instead of sharing your emotions that you're hurt or that somebody hurt you, they just lashed out at each other,
Right.
and it just seemed as though everyone just either decided that they were going to make the most of their situation and or burn it to the ground.
Right. So basically, I mean, Catherine Earnshaw, her father is a drunk, a gambler. She sees, I don't know if she quite sees, but, there's a point where Nellie's going through the bills, like her father is in horrible, massive amount of debt. She doesn't have very fine clothing. She sees, she's in love with Heathcliff, but she sees the Lintons come and she just has a taste of that good life. So she's torn between the good life of something that she never had and then something that
she always loved,
yeah. But will force her to, in her mind would force her to be, she said, I would be a beggar if I married Heathcliff, right? So
I think she was thinking of both of them, though.
Being beggars, yeah.
And I do think that Kathy is supposed to be portrayed as sort of a brat.
Yeah.
But I will say this, the way that Margot Robbie portrayed her, I do think she gave her a little bit more humanity. And I will say that my interpretation of the way she played her was that she didn't want Heathcliff to go through that either. She wanted to raise them both, elevate both of their stations.
I see.
By marrying Edgar.
Right, and there is a part in there where she's getting ready for her wedding, and she says, "Can't we put it off a little more?" And Nellie says, "Well, it's already been a year." To say, like, perhaps they have been putting off the wedding. Perhaps she has been waiting for Heathcliff. And
she did change her mind right away about accepting Edgar's proposal.
Right. Did she? Did I miss that? Okay. Yeah, she did say she did love Heathcliff, but by that time he'd already skedaddled.
Yeah.
He already hit the road on his steed in the sunlight, and the sun.
That shot was totally like a romance novel.
It was.
Cover. I was just like that. I was about to lean over to you and say, this is where they would have taken the picture for the romance smutty version of Wuthering Heights.
It was smutty though, and it was good.
You know what I will say about that though? It was
in a colonial way.
It was smutty,
mm-hmm.
But it wasn't as gratuitous as everybody made it out to be. Like,
no,
everybody made it out to be like it was just this nonstop barrage of smuttiness, but it wasn't. It was very.
There's no nudity.
No, really. And there was also a build up to it too.
Yeah,
there was glimpses of it, and then specific scenes of building up to it, and then there was kind of a montage of it, but then it was done.
Right. But
I would say the smuttiness is a small fraction of the story. There's a really good story to it, and I've read some critics saying that, the smuttiness took away from the story, and I have to firmly disagree. As an outsider who has not read the book, I do believe that I got a very good sense of what was going on within the book, from this portrayal, and also, um, just it was just a great interpretation of it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? When I was reading the book, I wanted Heathcliff and everyone wants Heathcliff and Catherine to end up together. Even though she's married when he comes back, that you still want them to be like, oh, they need to be together. So actually, I kind of wanted the book to be more smutty.
Yeah.
In that day and age, she probably would have been
Excuse me,
hanged
I'm sick.
for making that. Yeah,
Right.
for that. But and I think
there was a slight reference to that about a woman being hanged.
woman being hanged, right?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Emily Bronte died after writing this.
Oh, that I don't know.
Am I wrong? Shortly after writing this, I could be wrong. I'll put over here if I'm wrong or not.
Wait, was she hanged?
She was not hanged.
Okay.
I think she died of an illness or something, but I'm not sure. But what was going on in her mind to write this book? What kind of dark thoughts? And I would love to just see what she was like, Emily Bronte, for writing this book. I think we would have been friends.
Well, also,
what?
Consider the fact that it was 100 years ago and there was no TV, and all there were books and things that you would read. And then there was also just, I feel like this book is just a tale of human nature in general, and probably again of the way that things were back in that time, where everything had a certain amount of restraint, and that people probably did lash out instead of saying what they honestly felt,
right?
Because there were certain things that you just didn't do or say, and certain people that you couldn't be with depending on your station. And I mean, it's a book. It's a book. I mean, an author well before her time. I mean,
maybe she was criticizing that.
I think so.
Criticizing her own time for not being able to communicate their thoughts.
Or maybe feelings. This was a way for her, an outlet for her,
possibly
to tell how she felt and how destructive these behaviors are.
Yeah.
Because you could tell all of these characters did care for each other very deeply. Kathy cared for Heathcliff. Nellie cared for Kathy and Heathcliff in her own way.
Yeah.
And Kathy cared for her father, and so did Heathcliff. But they also loathed all of each other. I mean, Kathy loathed Nellie.
Yeah.
And Heathcliff and Kathy loathed each other, but they loved each other. And Kathy had a love for Nellie, but loathed her as well.
Yeah.
And then that's not even mentioning the Lintons.
Right. Can I just say, and this is the most cliche thing that I can ever say, I think the sets in itself was a character.
Yes. And also,
I think the whole setting,
the sets in and of itself, and the outside details of the characters too, like the snail going up the window, or Heathcliff running his fingers through the eggs, or them kneading the dough.
Right.
The cinematography of it, the set design,
right,
all of it is just aiding to the story. It's very well directed, and it all just adds to the entire picture. And I didn't realize that I could thoroughly enjoy a movie that is so sad and so destructive,
Yeah.
and so torturing.
No.
Uh-oh, I lost my mic. But it was just, I mean, it was so incredibly well done. I mean, truly. I'm
Yes.
sorry if there was any feedback from me grabbing my microphone.
And it was quite simply a beautiful movie. I mean,
Oh my gosh, it makes me want to go home and redesign my entire house.
right, and it you know, the beginning is just, you know, bleak and desolate on the English moors, you know, and then you go to the Linton's house and they live in, you know,
Opulence.
yeah, luxury
Yeah.
and color and beauty and just detailed excess.
There was
you
a
know?
great juxtaposition between Wuthering Heights and
And I forget what it was called.
Thrushmore.
Was it Thrushmore? Was that the Linton's house?
We
I think
will,
it was. I think that's what was they said in the notes that Heathcliff was writing.
Something like
Kathy.
that. I only heard it once, and I can be corrected, of course, but but I think there was just a very, very, like, even the opulence of the food that was on the table at the Linton's place versus at Wuthering Heights. You go back there and there's mold on the table, and there's just it's just
right. It was
stuff
kind of
on the floor,
kind of as dirty and disgusting as it was beautiful.
Yeah, in the
You know what I'm
Lintons.
saying?
Yeah.
Like it was trying to express something that, you know, dirt and filth and squalor and mess
Compared to
versus, you know, and could you really blame Kathy for trying to get away? You know.
Well, and also she I feel like she did wait for Heathcliff.
Yeah.
And
Kathy was likable.
Kathy was, you know, likable.
She was a spoiled
I think she was more likable probably in the movie than she was in the book.
Quite possibly. She's not in the book very much, honestly. She is and she isn't. She's a goner almost halfway through.
And I also feel like,
you know,
you can't help but fault Heathcliff too, even though you just grow to love his character from when they portrayed him as kids, or them as kids, to when they were adults. Like, I think that was also very well done. The time that they spent telling their story when they were kids versus when the time they spent, you know, that as adults.
That's when the waterworks started. When she was in her room and she saw the little boy Heathcliff.
Yes.
He's like, "Why did you do it?" And she's like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, that's when I started crying. I'm gonna cry again just thinking about it. But
I mean, it is a gut wrenching movie.
Yeah.
It's a I would love to actually just see it again in the theater, because it's just it's such a feast for the eyes, and just so well told.
Yeah. Emerald Fennell did a great job.
Yes, she did.
She did. She's a good filmmaker.
I mean, and I loved Saltburn too.
Saltburn was good.
And
tragic,
actually,
but good.
I think I love Saltburn, but I will say, even though this was just as sad of a story, I think there was just so much, like, goodness to it too.
Yeah.
That it makes me want to seek it out more than I would say Saltburn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you could also see, I don't know if I'm conveying myself correctly, but you could just also see how sad all the characters were.
They had their own struggle.
The struggles that they all went through. Heathcliff, you know, falling in love with Kathy and feeling like he couldn't be the right station to be with her.
Yeah.
And also feeling betrayed. And then Kathy, the mixtures of emotions that she felt, and the fact that they were both dealing with her drunken and abusive father.
Right.
But then, you know, you also feel bad for Nellie, because before Kathy's father adopts Heathcliff, Kathy and Nellie were very
We're
good
thick as
friends. They were
thieves.
thick as
Yeah.
thieves. And then they weren't friends anymore because of the friendship that Heathcliff and Kathy
Right.
formed. And that must have been so lonely for Nellie.
Yeah.
And then she acted out of spite like every other character did. And then it was
Yes.
the undoing of Kathy and everything from this portrayal of the movie. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so sad because each character could have been redeemed somehow
Right. It could have been different. You know, it
if
could have
people
just
had just communicated.
right. I guess
I
that
mean,
like a lot of movies are like that. Like the
yeah.
ending would have been different if so and so just said how they felt. If this didn't happen, they could have been together. You know, that kind of thing. You know, that's what makes the movies so relatable. That's life.
And you know what? I will say this. If I would have seen this movie when I was a teenager or in my 20s, I think it would have gutted me in a different way.
Okay.
Because it would have made me, think, wow, like, is this how people really are? Like, can people really not be happy? Like, do people torture each other this way? But after living life, you also see that it's not that black and white.
Yeah.
Like, I think if I were younger, I would have just been like, well, Kathy is a brat, and she shouldn't have done that to Heathcliff. And, he was just getting back at her. And, Nellie, Nellie was, a brat too.
Just a bunch of brats.
But seeing the movie, after being in several failed relationships before being in a successful one, after having a kid, after just living more life, you just see that everybody has their strengths and their faults. And this was just a situation where everybody just made the wrong decision, and that sometimes that can happen in life.
Yeah. Well, what would be the right decision? I mean, would she, Kathy accepted the proposal, right? But then Heathcliff left. So what was she supposed to do? Was she just supposed to stay
Well,
at her
I'm saying
dad's
if
house?
everybody made the right decision. So Heathcliff, instead of making the rash decision of just leaving,
Right.
could have decided to
Stay.
sleep on it,
Right.
and have a conversation with Kathy. And then they both could have had a conversation, and then she could have made a better decision.
Yeah,
and then
that's true.
And then instead of being spiteful, even though it hurt her feelings with what Kathy said, Nellie could have actually been helpful instead of spiteful.
That was before therapy, guys.
Yeah.
That was before therapeutic interventions back in the old days on the English moors.
And I gotta say, therapy has way too many false stigmas around it. Therapy is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody benefits from therapy, even if you think, oh, my life is just perfect.
Yeah.
There's always something to figure out.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would like to say that it was a very well acted movie.
Oh, absolutely.
I think the actors, what's her name? Allison, who played
Allison Oliver. She was
Allison Oliver
excellent.
is an excellent actress.
Yes.
Margot Robbie's excellent as well.
And so is Jacob Elordi.
Jacob Elordi. I don't know the man who played Edgar Linton, but he was great too. It made his character likable.
And I will say,
Hong, the girl who played Nellie.
And the guy, the man who played Kathy's father, did an excellent portrayal
of a dirtbag.
Of just what you would think. Like, think of a man who was like that in that time.
Yeah,
a man who drank and was once, kind of
cruel to his family.
In well standing.
Yeah,
was once had a wife but lost her started drinking, gambling, lost his way, and then kind of suffered, the degradation of his spiraling.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was all just very beautifully portrayed.
Yeah. I would agree. I would have to agree.
So I really do feel like those people who are saying it's just smut, yes, that's your interpretation, but I feel like this was a lot more than just that.
And the little boy that played, it's kind of funny actually, because Alex and I just started watching Adolescence on Netflix. We just started watching that. And
we wanted to see that too.
It's the little boy from Adolescence. I think he's younger. I think he's younger in Adolescence because he seems older in this movie. I could be wrong, but in Adolescence, he is a good actor. And obviously he's a good actor in this movie as well. But in Adolescence, he's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But he's a good
I actually
actor.
Can't wait to see that.
I don't know if I spoil anything.
No.
You don't mind spoilers?
No. And I've seen some of like spoilers in the show anyway.
Okay.
But I mean, me and Adam have been wanting to watch that show for a while.
Yeah.
So
what do you think? Is it obvious what Kathy whispered in Nellie's ear when she was dying?
Do you know what it is?
No, do you?
No.
Did she just whisper to go get
Heathcliff?
Go tell Heathcliff?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know if it was something poignant. They did that thing in what is that movie? With Scarlett Johansson and
Lost in Translation. Where she whispers in Bill Murray's ear.
Or
right?
does he whisper?
Or does he whisper
he
in
whispers
hers?
in her ear.
I can't remember.
But you never know what he whispers.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be a mystery forever and ever. But is this supposed to be a mystery? Because after she whispers in her ear, Nellie goes and runs and tells Heathcliff that she's dying or dead or something, right?
I think so.
Okay, so it's not supposed to be a mystery.
But do we see her going to Heathcliff?
Yeah, don't you see that?
Okay,
remember Nellie appears and he was looking at her. He's like, "What?" Like he doesn't really.
That's right.
Yeah. And it happens like right after that scene. So I'm just wondering, is that what or was it something else that she?
I don't know. I think it is supposed to be sort of a mystery, and I actually, until you brought it up, this has been kind of a whirlwind. It's once you start crying and you're feeling in the moment.
Yes.
Like some of the details leave you until you think back and review.
Yeah. But lots of references to dogs in the movie as well.
Oh yeah.
What do they call her? What do they call her? A dog in the. I don't know. A dog in the. It's like a dog in the cage, but I'll put it here. They put, and then Heathcliff makes Isabella put on a collar and a chain, just
like
act
she's
like a dog.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of references to dogs. And
Sorry,
then the dog shits on the floor.
I'm fighting another cold, so.
Sorry. So, other thoughts?
I don't know. I think I might have to think on it too.
Yeah.
Maybe
next week we'll
let it marinate. Next week we'll have a brief recap on maybe more thoughts of it.
Mayhaps. But we want to know what you think as well.
Absolutely.
If you've seen the movie, if you want to see the movie, if you disagree with us about anything,
if any of what we were saying is coherent
or wrong, let us know.
I don't know if what I've said is coherent. You're wrong.
You're wrong. Tell us. We don't mind.
No. We love feedback.
Tell us we're wrong. Yeah. But if you see the movie, I hope you enjoy it as much as we did. We really did enjoy it.
We did.
But until next time, we thank you for joining and thanks for listening to us drone on.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by our weird little corner of the internet, per usual.
Yep.
Yeah. Until next week, we'll see you. We'll see you then.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. We are Relatably Random, produced and hosted by Allison Rossbaum and Katie Anderson. Music by The Trouble. Relatably Random is recorded in Katie's basement. Please like and subscribe if you're random. Follow us on Instagram at Relatably Random Pod. Thank you so much for listening.